Bubsy 2, I'm surprised you were an improvement over Bubsy 1, considering how that game was just a pain in the ass to play through. But you did a good job. I can't wait to see where you go next. Ah, crap. I forgot. You suck.
God, Bubsy's overconfident face scares me, especially with those gross 3D feet. Ugh. You know, Bubsy's 3D and Forbidden Planet. Let's get into it, shall we? So I guess before I get into like the actual gameplay, I guess I'll just talk a little bit about Bubsy 3D. So Bubsy 3D came out October 1996, and it just came out at a terrible time. Mario 64 was out. It pretty much set the standards of 3D platformers. Free range movement, fun levels. It was great. It was a masterpiece. Bubsy 3D came out, a few months later, and it's just, oh my god, it just failed in comparison. Everything that Mario 64 did right, Bubsy 3D just like took a dump all over it. Now, this game was, I think, in development before Mario 64, but, after they saw that game, they're probably like, oh, maybe we should fix it. No, they didn't. They just kept this unfinished mess on the PlayStation. They're like, oh yeah, it was good. And I know some people might say, like, oh, well, you know what, it's not fair comparing Bubsy 3D to Mario 64, because, they're on two separate systems. I know some people are like that, even with crap games. So, I got a comparison for you. Crash Bandicoot came out 2 months earlier, and looks way better and plays way better than this garbage. Also, Tomb Raider came out a month later. So, Bubsy 3D has no excuse. Well, time to get the, elephant out of the room. Bubsy's voice.
Now, what would a platform game be without platforms? I wonder if there's any extra lives up there.
Yeah, Bubsy's voice. I don't know how well it is through the recording, but it's really annoying. Now, his voice in the other games wasn't too annoying. I didn't think it was, but in this game, it's so shrill. It's just loud, obnoxious, and he talks all the fucking time, dude. He just never shuts up. He's voiced, I don't remember the voice actress's name, but I know she voiced Rouge the Bat in Sonic Adventure 2. I don't know what direction she was given for Bubsy, but it's really awful. She, if you hear her anywhere else, she's perfectly fine, but for some reason in this game, they're like, alright, you know what? Playing as an annoying orange bobcat, be as obnoxious as you can. Rob Paulson was way better. Controls. They are crap. Mario 64 has a, free range movement. It's nice. It's great. You can go anywhere. Bubsy 3D doesn't have that. Instead, you have tank controls where, you turn left and right, and then you push up to go forward, and back you can hop backwards. That's fine for, like, Resident Evil, which Resident Evil has the same kind of controls. But for an adventure platforming game, it's annoying because every jump feels like a chore. I don't know why they just kept it this way. I know like tank controls were like a thing in the industry, like, oh yeah, you need tank controls in order to be a good game. Mario 64 was like, you know what, screw you guys. I got my own way of doing things. So let's talk about the pickups. So, extra life pickup, that's a common thing in the Bubsy games. Now it's a picture of his face. And the common pickup now are atoms, and they're actually useful. Yeah, it only took till the third game in the franchise to make the common pickup useful and not just give you points. So now what the atoms do is when you collect 50 of them, you'll get an extra life. And if you run up to one while holding square, let me actually do it on this wall because I want to show up the other pickup. Oh God, hold on, let me just turn my tank around. I forgot how to how do you side hop? I know you can do that. Ugh! Okay. So line up with the atom. If you hold square, you can go in person, first person or whatever, third person, and you can shoot it. If you hold it for too long, it'll backfire and explode in your face and you'll take damage. Now the other main important power-up are these rocket ship pieces, which I'm going to give you a little seizure warning. Just look away for 5 seconds if you don't want to screw yourself over. Yeah, so that happens.
Yesterday's clams. Chowder here. Well, let's go get the other one. There's 2 on
Okay,
every
so
level
Bubsy
below.
pretty much says that, oh, you need to collect 2 on each level. There's 32. So, 16 levels in total to get 32. Actually, wait, I think some levels actually don't have rocket pieces, now that I think about it. I don't know how many levels this game has. I don't really care. But, yeah, pretty much the story of this game is Bubsy got kidnapped by the Woolies, which were the main antagonist of the first game. So, the Woolies are back now. They want to steal the yarn from Earth. So, instead of, going to Earth and killing Bubsy immediately, they decide to kidnap him and bring him back to their planet. The rocket ship they were on crashes, and Bubsy escapes. So now Bubsy is on his way to collect atoms and rockets to build his own rocket ship to go back home. And the Woolies, for some reason, these nice green fellows, they don't know why he's doing that. Because they call the rockets and atoms useless and abundant resources all over the planet. And you think they would be like, oh, they would be smart about this. They even say that, like, oh, he can build a rocket with this for interstellar travel. And they don't know why he's just building it, even though they literally went to Earth in a rocket ship and kidnapped him. Oh wait, hold on. This is really cool. Okay, so you got this electric power up. So you run into it and kill the Woolies. Whoa! Wow, that was exciting, I will say. Just cutting to the end here. So at the end of each level, it tallies up your score. That's cool and all. You get a password in case you don't have a memory card, because this was early in the PlayStation life, so most people probably don't have a memory card, but it does save to the memory card if you do have one. And I think, doesn't the PlayStation come with a memory card when you first buy it? I don't know, it's been a while. Ooh, a bonus round. Yeah, I unlocked a bonus round. I don't actually know how this activates. I think if you collect a certain amount of atoms, it'll do something. Whoa. No. Well, that's the bonus round. I hope you enjoyed. Talking about the controls again. You can't use analog. This game does not support analog. Most early, PlayStation games don't support analog. If you try to turn on the analog, it'll pause the game. But I'm gonna break the illusion here. I'm actually not playing this on my PlayStation. I'm using an emulator because I don't really have a way to record my own PlayStation. But the analog does work on the emulator. But it doesn't really make the game controls feel any better. It kind of just makes it feel worse. But no matter what you use, it's just gonna be bad. Killing enemies is just a chore. You gotta like fumble around in the air a lot to actually hit them. And every time you jump, the camera points down at the ground. Which some people say is annoying, but it's actually the most useful thing in the game. Because it's easier just to jump around everywhere, because you have a lot of control in the air, actually. Or you've probably noticed the graphics and how they look like garbage. It looks like a game that's unfinished, or perhaps an Atari Jaguar game. Which, if you know what the Atari Jaguar games look like, at least the quote-unquote 64-bit games look like, you know what I'm talking about. Which is funny, because there's actually a Bubsy game on the Atari Jaguar, which doesn't look anything like this. It should have been on the Atari Jaguar, so I wouldn't have to play it. Ah yes, how could I forget the most important move in Bubsy's arsenal? His glide. Yeah, so Bubsy has the power of gliding, like any true Bobcat would. So you glide with the triangle button, which is, in every single Bubsy game, you can glide with the whatever button it's mapped to. But the annoying thing about the glide in this game is that it's really heavy. Also, you cannot combine it with the normal jump anymore, which is kind of lame. So you just got to press triangle and do the glide. But Bubsy doesn't take fall damage in this game. Instead, he just drops like a rock like this. Like, man, that's real heavy, isn't it? Oh yeah, whenever you get a rocket piece, it'll show up on the blueprint here, saying you missed one rocket, but honestly, it doesn't matter if you collect them all anyway. The ending is pretty much the same either way. You get a good or bad ending, but no one's going to take the time to actually collect all the rockets in this game. Let's be honest here. No one's going to do that. Guess if you can hear it, you notice that the music and the sound in this game is not very good. It's really bad, actually. Some of it sounds, you know, fine, but a lot of the sound effects the enemies make are just loud and annoying. Bubsy himself is loud and annoying, but at least you can turn his voice off in the options menu, which is, you know, that's nice and all. But I wish, actually, you know what? Just mute the whole TV. You don't want to listen to this game. In fact, you know what? Turn off the PlayStation and sell the game back to wherever you bought it from, because you don't even want to play this game. Haha. You know what? One thing I will give this game slight credit for is dying. Because it's actually kind of interesting to see all the different death animations Bubsy has. Drowning in the lake and other things. They did this in the other Bubsy games too. I'm glad they brought it back over, because it was cool seeing all the fun little animations, even though there's a dead bobcat I'm staring at. But it was nice. You know, if this game came out like earlier, before Mario 64, it probably would have been pretty innovative for its time, but you know, just after the fact, it's just so dull in comparison. It's just not fun to just jump across platforms like it is in Mario and Crash Bandicoot, because it's just a chore most of the time. You're just jumping on the same polygonal gray platform. There's a couple different paths you can go down, you know, there's things to collect, but it's just not interesting. This UFO sounds like a hairdryer. Yeah, this game has boss fights. They suck, actually. They're really bad. So this is the first boss, the Woolly Bully. He's on a calculator shooting whatever at you. You just gotta glide on top of the things he shoots out, because, you know, that's something you do when you fight a boss. Jump into the things he's shooting at you to glide up and bounce on his head. It's kind of annoying, because it's kind of hard to see the boss most of the time. But I guess it's doable. It's definitely better than any of the bosses from Earthworm Jim 3D, which is the only positive I can say over that game. Okay, I died, but I killed him at the same time. That was weird. Yes, what would a good 3D platformer be without underwater segments? Oh god. Okay, so the underwater segments in this game are fine, I guess. So you press triangle, you can do a dash and run faster, but you run out of air. I don't know. These levels are fine. They're kind of just slow, but I'd rather play them over the normal platforming stages, because platforming is a pain. You press the circle button to go down, and you press the X button to go up, and you can pick up these canisters here to refill your air. They're a lot easier to control than you might think. It's actually not super awful. Oh god, I forgot the fucking starfish. Yeah, a lot of the enemies in the underwater area kind of just come out of nowhere and attack you. Mainly the starfish and the dogfish. You can kill the enemies if charging into them with the triangle, but it's not worth it most of the time, because, you do run out of air using them. So, don't recommend it. I don't even think you can kill the dogfish. Let's just get out of here. So, I mean, I don't really have much else to say about this game. I kind of just said what I wanted to. Bad graphics, bad controls, boring gameplay, kind of bad bosses. I know I didn't really show off. This is only the 6th level, but it's pretty much just like this for the rest of the game. It gets a little bit tougher. Some of the levels suck, like really bad. You got harder enemies to fight. It's a game. It's not worth playing at all. Positives I can say over the other Bubsy games is that the common pickup actually does something besides give you points. I like the little animations that happen to Bubsy when he dies. I like how you can mute him in the options menu. That's a great feature. I like that. Other than that, I don't really have anything else positive to say at all. The game it's just kind of there. It came out at a terrible time. If it came out earlier, it probably would have been innovative, and people probably wouldn't have hated that much. But it pretty much just killed the Bubsy name After this game got released, Bubsy was never heard from again. Yeah, or so we thought. Nah, he came back. We all know he came back. I guess I'm gonna have to look at that game eventually. But for now, Bubsy 3D sucks. Don't play it.